Shora Bashemte. I am Callum Traveler, and welcome back to another episode of Blender for Korman for Beginners. I've not actually updated this since the end of the last episode because what we're going to be doing today is actually doing an update of some sort. Well, yeah. Let me move my cursor here. So what exactly are we going to be doing today? Well, we're going to be doing a correction of sorts before we continue on with doing anything new. Oh, I'm creating this giant square here. This is a temporary model that's going to represent our water level. So it is as flat can be, and we are going to lower it down here, and we're going to see exactly where our water level would be. This is mostly just me making sure that, we have everything as leveled out as it could possibly be. Because I realized that, okay, so first things first, we have a good layer of what should be a walkable lip to get up onto this side of it. That is good. That is good. Got some solid edging here. Got a good cliff layer here. And just because so we got this all pretty well good up top. That is good. I was afraid that I had screwed this up enough that this whole section of slope over here was going to be under the water. But good. This is why we check things, because now we know for sure that all of our water for this pool will actually hit the areas I want it to hit. That is good. But the thing that needs checking now is our water line, because I noticed that, yep, it did not level out. My little sand line is not level. So there's a couple of ways we're gonna have to fix that, and I think the easiest way to fix it is basically we're just gonna move our water line up. We're gonna change all of the texturing that we just did in the last video, and we're gonna make it so that our sandy area is a bit more closer to where we want the water to end up being. At least that is my thought on it, because let's be real here, this is probably gonna be one of those we gotta make sure we got it right things, and I do not quite like how it looks. Well, first things first, I'm just gonna take this light bit. Actually, no, I'm not gonna do that. What I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna create a new light. Create just as point. Yep, and this is gonna be. Let's turn that up to 10. Yeah, that'll do the trick. What? Where did? Yep, bring that over. Bring that over. This is a temporary light. We're gonna delete it later. I just need it down here to lighten up, these things, these walls, so we can actually see what we're doing, because twisting everything around was not fun. And here's our tool trick and lesson of the day. Duplicate. And there's also duplicate linked. There's a difference between duplicate and duplicate linked, and the difference between the two is if you duplicate something, you're making two unique objects. If you duplicate a linked object, then any changes you do to one of these objects will be recreated in the other object. So if I duplicate another linked object, yep. So let's say I'm doing red. Now all of these are red. See? That makes, for duplicating lights, that makes things rather easy as far as, making sure that I'm getting everything, getting everything to color match. Now, again, I'm not, and I'm not going to be, keeping all of these to be, identical. I mostly just need these lights to, I need these lights basically just to see what I'm doing with my texturing here. Yep, because things are not even, and I would like to be able to see what I'm doing when I'm mucking with this. Okay. Okay, that should be good enough. I can see where everything is. And as you can see, by counting the planes, because the terrain is uneven on this side and this side, then it ended up, it ended up not looking so well. So yeah, we are gonna be fixing this to make it a bit more, worn down underwater. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, knowing what we know now, edit mode. Yep. Boom, 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 boom. And then we're going to go into our material, pond floor, assign, you, reset. Now that kind of comes up to the water line here. Now, obviously, this is not going to be perfect because we're going to run into the same issue. Our planes are not leveling out in the same places, so things are going to be a little wonky, and we're going to have to twist things a bit, and it's, But we'll worry about that once we've gone through and we've reapplied our texture to all of the places that are going to be underwater, basically. So now I finished going over the hard part of actually editing all the texture planes here. Back out of my object view, you'll see now we've got the sand line basically all the way up to where our water level is going to be. But that's not going to be perfect for all of this because, as I previously pointed out, this terrain is all uneven. I mean, just look at this plane here. That is very square. That would not look very good with our water line. Well, that's where our sand blend texture is going to come back into play here because, but yeah, you'll see that we've got these little bits here. Like, if I go to this plane and I reset it to round, well, okay. But, yeah, this is where things are going to get tricky. Because my actual gut instinct here is to go with the knife and slice it horizontally and to make this bit. Actually, I'm going to make this bit the sand blend. Now, we're going to go to our UV mesh editor. We're going to go, see here how that is all, that's just focusing exactly in on this, one little, plane here. So if I go U reset, but now that's different. That's still not what we want. If I twist it, let's twist it this way. Ooh. If I bring this up a bit. So. I don't want this. So I'm going to go in and now I'm going to go and I'm going to grab this vertex. This is the vertex point for the UV editor. I'm going to grab this and try it. Nope, that's not working. Ah, it's this one I want to grab because now, aha. Now we see that is gonna look a little. It's gonna look a little weird. I'm not gonna lie. This is gonna look weird. That's just because we were messing with one plane when we really, really, really want to be messing with multiple planes here. We want to go grab these guys. Yep. And now we'll assign the sand blend to them. I'm going to hit reset. Perfect. Okay. Back to the UV image editor. I'm going to go back to our sand blend. Now, first and foremost, I'm going to go A. Oops. Yep. I'm going to go A, R. I'm going to twist them around so we get, our little texture bits here. They're not edged out weirdly. And now we're going to focus on this plate, and we're going to twist. That's still a little weird. And in fact, I may be regretting merging those yeah, make edge face. Oof. Yep, that gets weird. Property. That's because we're gonna go assign and we're gonna go reset. Yep, and go back to the UV image editor, and we're gonna. And we're just gonna twist it around here. Make sure that we got our corners right. Yep. There we go. And we're just gonna repeat that process basically across this line. We're gonna try and make it seem like we've got a little bit of a blend there. We're gonna try and make things look better. Go back to our properties, sand blend, assign. We're gonna go back to our. We're gonna reset, and yeah, I probably should. Now see, here comes a hard thing to judge. Because we're going to have our water line coming right up to our sand here. Where is a good place to make our sand terminate? Well, it's clearly I'm thinking it's going to be. I think it's going to have to be this row. Yeah. It's going to have to be this row that we're doing this on because, yep, sand blend, assign, reset. Go back to our UV image editor. And we'll twist this around. Make sure we got a good view on this so we make sure our edges are lining up. Yeah, but see, that looks kind of artificial now, doesn't it? This line here, it doesn't feel like it's lining up with the, yeah, you can kind of see how it's just following a line there, which is not what we want to see. Let's go back to object mode. Let's go back to, let's go to U, properties. Let's go sand blend, assign, reset. We'll go back to the UV image editor. Nope. Don't like it. 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 Properties. Let's go back to selecting these two. Actually, let's just select, select those, and then we'll go to pond floor. You reset. There we go. Okay. Actually, let's go with this one and set that to sand blend. And then go back to UV image editor and rotate. Yep, okay, I need to actually see what the texture looks like. Okay. And make sure you, when you're grabbing this, to get your plane selected properly. And we'll twist it so it's like that. Aha! And you'll see it's a little stretchy there. Let's see what happens if I grab this corner. Nope, I want it to be... Where do I want that, actually? You know, this white glare is starting to get to me. I'm making it hard to see what I'm actually doing. I'm gonna go properties, and I'm gonna go new temp water, new open. Let's see, we're looking for PNGs, and what's a good watercolor? What's a good watercolor? I'm looking for... water turbulence. That'll do. Check edit mode. Sign. U. Reset. Actually, smart UV project. Then I'll do reset. But anyway, just adding the color there. That's not helping for some reason. Oh, I'm going to set the diffuse color there. That is very much not working the way I want it to work for this. So I'm going to go back to these lights, and I'm going to change the hue of them. Yeah. No. Look at that. It only colors the... What happens if I pull this? Sorry, I'm kind of getting a little distracted here, but what happens if I pull this up? Nope, that's still getting... That's still getting weird. That's still getting weird because... because here's why. Because this little guy is set to such a bright light color. Now we have a blue. There we go. Okay, that is going to be helpful. It's, again, this is just not the color we really want for this age, but... now we can see what we're doing. Let's get back to this. Okay, object. Let's go to object, edit mode. Okay. So, let's see here. This is the plane we want to mess with now. UV image editor, AR. Let's rotate you. Actually, no. Nope. Let's bring you. Aha, there we go. If we bring you up closer to here. Now that kind of blends in better. I'll go to this plate and Let's see here. Which corner is which? I have a feeling it's this corner I want. Yep, that's the corner I want. Let's stretch it down into there. And oh, now we've got that blending rather well, I think. So the trick to making this look a little more organic and not quite so, straight line like this is to grab a bit here and just kind of, grab my vertex and stretch it down. Move on to the next plane. Grab my vertex and move it to match. Like so. And move it and stretch it. Yep. And then, even though this is the same, texture, now it has this variance to it. It looks very, very different. It's happens to look, and especially if I move the edges out slightly in places, then it becomes sort of this feeling where it's not the same, it's the same texture, it's the same visual, but it just comes out looking a little different depending on where I, move my points of interest. Come to here, and I'm going to leave this corner intact and move to this corner, make it line up. Now we have that lovely kind of, texture line where it's kind of just, it feels like the shore is just kind of eroded away because of the water lapping at it. I bring this line, if I bring it down a bit, I go over here and I bring this down. Rather, I'm bringing it up. I'm bringing the vertex point up so it displays a different point of the texture as the lowest point. Move this stuff, and suddenly these, kind of stretchy textures now feel a little more, they feel a little bit more realistic in how they're lining up with things. Now, it doesn't quite feel as, compressed down, I should say, and it also gives the vibe that we're, dealing with nature rather than just, an artificial texture that's just laid around. Now, again, we could just leave it artificially fine, just one layer line. But why go to all that trouble when I legitimately can just, move my texture points and, get an interesting look like that. Now there's this big kind of curve where it seems like where the waves have kind of, crashed down. If I grab this point here and I drag it out a little, it adds a little bit of a curve to the rock. And we'll just keep doing that, basically. We'll just keep twisting and we'll keep moving our vertices. Because and there, that little slope gives that a really unique little look compared to the rest of the, compared to everything else. Because again, it's going in and it's doing all of this, and this is what really makes it, stand out as a texture more so than it does, just, like if we look at this from far away, like that really doesn't look like it's just a texture that's repeating. It looks distinct, it looks unique, it looks kind of natural, doesn't it? At least I think it does. And I'm not even bothering with doing the unique twisting on all of them, but if I do just just enough unique twisting in places, you know, then when it all comes lining up, right? Then your eyes will kind of do the rest of the work for you, for me, because, you know, ooh, but here I do want to drag you up a bit. I want to drag you up a bit because that looks a little weird. Wow. Let's get you lining up a bit better there. Yeah. Again, like I said, the human eye will generally do most of the trickery for me. Now, I want to actually go about this the other way. I want to lower this section to bring that up. And you see how this kind of works, right? Yeah, we're seeing this. Yeah, let's bring that up to here. That way, then I can come along to this square. If I go with my knife... Actually, no. No. Properties. Fix that little square. Yeah, UV editor. There. That'll do the trick. Now I've missed these squares down here. I'm gonna come along, I'm gonna select them. And it doesn't matter if I accidentally hit some squares I've already hit, because, you know, it's gonna work out eventually. Okay, so let's see here. How do we want to go about this? This cliff face is going to be the hardest one to really get, because if we look at this water, you'll see it's coming really close to the edge of things. This square we're going to want to assign to the sand blend, and we're going to reset it. This one we're going to assign to the sand blend, and we're going to reset it. One we're going to assign to the sand blend, and we're also going to reset it. That's coming dangerously close. Actually, no. We're going to leave that one as the pond floor, and it's these that we're going to set to the sand blend. And reset. And, yep. We're going to go along these. We're going to go with the sand blend. Reset. Okay, so we're going to go into our UV image editor. Alright, let's go start lining these up. Actually, did I make sure to get this one on this UV sand editor? Properties. Sand blend. Yeah, there we go. UV reset. Okay. And like I said, I don't need to actively see the texture for everything, because I could generally know where my points are here. As long as I know that this point down here is, you know, roughly speaking. As long as I make sure that the white is on the bottom, I know that I can grab this corner, and then if I rotate it, yep. As long as I make sure I'm grabbing the right corners, yep. Grab this, I'm going to drag it up to here. Yep. There we go. Now we see how that's kind of working out. Oh, I don't even have to do anything with that particular plate, because I can just twist this one. Oh, yeah. pull you down like so. Oh, yeah. And now that has a nice little curve to it on that little bit of hill there. It looks like the water's coming and lapping up around it. In fact, I'm going to come along with the knife, and I'm going to kind of accentuate that. Going along here. And, yeah, let me grab my knife and do one more bit like that. Yeah, there we go. Now if I select. And I'm gonna smooth these a bit. Now that caused some texture stretching here. Let's do reset. And now we have something completely funky that I did not have before. And we're gonna have to mess with this because something, nope, that's not the corner I want. This is the corner I want, because look at how that got all twisted around because I added one extra vertex point. I think this one. Nope, it's this one I want to grab because then we can. Yeah. There we go. And now that's gonna look a little bit softer. I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna grab this vertex and I'm gonna lower it. I'm gonna soften that corner. Yeah. Now looking at this, you wouldn't even realize that this texture is completely different. That it just, look at that. You see how that matches? That blends really well. I'm gonna have to come in and readjust some of these textures later to make sure that they continue to, you know, work the way that I want them to, but yeah, we're doing pretty good here. And we're making pretty good time on this too. How do I want to continue on this line? Actually, going back to this one, I'm gonna grab you. I'm gonna grab you, and I'm gonna bring you up like that. Okay. Let's go back to our properties. We're gonna send this to sand blend. You reset. Let's get my white to the bottom, the sandy bottom here. Yep. We go, and I'm gonna shrink down that bit. I'm gonna shrink down this bit. I'm actually gonna make this one a little bit more wild to make that line up better. Yeah. Now see, because I've extended that, it tiles a whole lot more repeatedly on this particular one. And it's gonna sell the illusion that these are, you know, this is an uneven shore. Like, if we look at this right now, like, you don't see a single repeating pattern here. What you're seeing is the sand color. It looks like erosion. It looks like natural kind of erosion. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay. Welcome back to, the pod. As you can see, we now have a lot of blending going on here. Yeah, there's a little bit of liney bits at the top where it's not messing up right, but... And as you can see, I've only not finished everything. I'm actually kind of liking the deeper blue lighting here, because it's kind of given this blue reflection, and well, the blue reflection in the pool is because of those light sources I put down there. And yeah, I did not make that texture, the water line texture, to be solid, because I'm just using it as a reference guide for where my line is coming up. You'll see there's a few places where I need to reset the texturing. But, just to give you a sharp example of, just a note there, just to give you a sharp example of the difference between the artificial line and the more weathered line that we got going here. compare our left side to our right side here. You see the difference, right? You see how this looks all, like, you see where this is like a solid, sharp line, and it just kind of looks weird where it meshes, but meanwhile over here, it just, oh, look at how that blends and how it looks all weird and eroded, and it's not consistent at all. Like, this is the look we're after, folks. Yeah, I need to reset everything that's a bit too big to make it look a little bit more sandy. But this is the look we're going for. I like this look. You'll notice it when you only notice it gets really stretchy when you get up close to it, but from afar, this feels like an age already. This feels more and more like an age. Yeah, I'm actually liking that blue lighting in here. Like, as temporary as that was going to be, I'm liking how it looks in here. I might end up having to change it later, but I think for the going forward in testing, I will stick with this. And you look how the blue gets reflected deep down here with those little lighting nodes that I added. Let's get a view where we're not actually seeing through the geometry. Let's just look at this just for a moment. You've got this sandy cliff, and it doesn't look like it's been, it doesn't look like it's been artificially weathered away. It looks very natural. It's very random and haphazard, and it's got the pattern to it. And it kind of repeats in places, but yeah, I'm liking this. I am liking this. I'm liking this a lot. So, something to not be discouraged by. You'll notice I'm grabbing this particular plane and it's not moving anything around. I grab this plane, it moves it around. I grab this node, it moves it around. I grab this node, it moves it around. Yeah, I grab this node and it does nothing. Nothing. So, when that happens, easiest thing to do is just deal with it and move the bits you can move. And if it looks a little weird, it looks a little weird. Well, sometimes that's all you can do. Just make things not quite as weird as they are. Because yeah, sometimes that's all you can do. And also, make sure you're not going over your polygons and your not going over your corners like this, because that's what ended up with some weird shapes I saw earlier. But yeah, we're just doing, yeah, that's my wise tip for this section of the video. And sometimes you can't move a thing, so don't worry about it. Worry about the things you can move. Export and launch. Alright, this is basically gonna be the last video or the last clip for today's video. I have finished with the retexturing, basically. I finished the line of sand around everything. I've added in a temporary water texture because, to give it the visual look, and also to make sure that I'm still Still getting my lines of sight right once I'm in game. What you see in Blender versus what you see in game is kind of different sometimes. And yeah, it's looking pretty good. I may need to lower this corner a bit. I've also extended this tunnel. Ooh. Now where is this gonna go, I wonder? That is gonna be a mystery for sure. We are making progress, though. I'm gonna have to figure out how to encapsulate this area. A slight seamage here. I'll have to fix that later. But, yeah. I've also added a single light node down here. So it's casting a little blue reflection, and it's casting it upwards. So if you're down here in the water, and you look up and you get to see, you get to see the rocks there in blue. Of course, as we get into the darker areas, the lighting reflects, so it's dimmer. So, but yeah, that is this for now. I did clean up the texturing here on these side bits so they look a little more rough and torn and dirty, you know. All that good texturing stuff. Yeah, okay, that's gonna be it for this video. This typo thing is going to be a real annoying thing over the course of this series, isn't it? Shora b'shemte. Thank you for watching.